Please, just hold my hand." The rain drummed against the glass walls of the bus stop as Harper Dawson pulled her coat tighter. Her hands were raw from kneading dough since dawn, her bakery's warm lights now dim behind her. She glanced at the stranger stepping out of a sleek black car. Tall, dressed in an expensive suit, but his eyes, they looked hollow. He walked toward her slowly, rain soaking his shoulders. In his trembling hand, he held crisp bills. "Here's $1,000, he said, voice breaking. "Just hold my hand tonight." Harper froze. "Excuse me?" "I know how this sounds," he whispered, staring at the wet pavement. "But I can't walk into that wedding alone. Not tonight. Not in front of her." She saw it then, the cracks beneath his polished exterior. This wasn't about money. It was about survival. "Who are you?" she asked softly. "Grayson Hale," he murmured, "CEO of Hale Industries. And tonight, I'm just broken." Harper thought of her mother, frail in their small apartment, medical bills piling like unread letters. Her father's voice, "Kindness costs nothing, sweetheart." "Keep your money," she said finally, "but I'll come. No one should face their pain alone." An hour later, Harper stood in a borrowed emerald gown, her hair swept elegantly. Grayson's eyes widened when he saw her. "You didn't have to." "Yes, I did," she smiled gently. "If we're doing this, we do it right." The wedding hall glittered with chandeliers and champagne. Harper felt eyes follow them. Curiosity, judgment, envy. Across the room, a woman in red watched Grayson with bitter familiarity. His ex. Beside her stood his former business partner, smug and triumphant. Harper felt Grayson's hand tightened around hers. She squeezed back. "Breathe. You're stronger than you think." Throughout the evening, Harper moved through conversations with quiet grace. She listened more than she spoke, asked genuine questions, laughed warmly. People gravitated toward her authenticity, something rare in rooms like these. When couples were invited to share words about each other, Grayson stood stiffly. "Harper is, kind. Kinder than I deserve." He sat down quickly, jaw clenched. Harper rose slowly, her voice steady and warm. "I met Grayson only hours ago, but I've learned something profound. Sometimes the strongest people are those who admit they're breaking, who reach out when darkness feels endless. Grayson didn't have to ask for help tonight, but he did. That takes courage most of us will never understand." She paused, her eyes glistening. "Real love isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, about holding someone's hand when they can't hold their own." Silence blanketed the room. Even the woman in red looked away, shame flickering across her face. Grayson drove Harper home through empty streets. Neither spoke for a long time. "Why did you help me?" he finally asked. "Because someone once held my hand when I was drowning. My father, before he passed. He taught me that kindness is the only currency that truly matters." "Your father sounds like he was an incredible man." "He was, and he'd want me to pass it forward." When they reached her modest apartment, Harper's mother waited at the window, frail but smiling. "Thank you, Grayson, for reminding me that broken things can still be beautiful." He watched her disappear inside, something shifting in his chest, a warmth he'd forgotten existed. Over the following weeks, Grayson found himself thinking about Harper constantly. He learned that she'd won 3 culinary competitions that year, that every penny went toward her mother's treatment, that she baked bread for homeless shelters each Sunday. He began visiting her bakery, not as a CEO, but as someone searching for light. One afternoon, he made her an offer. "Let me invest in you, not your bakery, you, your education, your mother's treatment, your dreams." Harper shook her head. "I can't accept." "Then don't accept. Earn it. he said firmly. Teach others what you know. Build something that changes lives. Let me be part of something good for once. She studied his face, no longer hollow, but hopeful. Okay, she whispered, but only if you help me, personally, not just with money. Deal. A year later, Harper's Table, a non-profit culinary school for underprivileged women, opened in a renovated warehouse. Harper's mother sat in the front row, healthy and radiant. Grayson stood beside Harper as she cut the ribbon, their hands intertwined, not for show, but for strength. You saved me that night, Grayson murmured. Harper turned to him, eyes bright. No, you saved yourself. I just held your hand while you did. He smiled, a real smile, unguarded and whole. Then let's keep holding on, together. She nodded, tears of joy streaming down her face. Together. Around them, young women laughed and learned, kneading dough and hope in equal measure. The scent of fresh bread filled the air, a promise that even in darkness, warmth could always rise.